All right. Now, quickly, I'll share my screen because I need to give you a background of what we'll be looking at before we proceed. So quickly, I'll be giving you a quick overview of what the low-code and Power Platform is all about. And from there, we can proceed to see other things that has to do with Power Platform, low-code development, and the idea of building cloud solutions in real time. Okay, thank you very much. This is, please, I need a confirmation that you can see my screen, because I'm presently displaying my slide. I don't know if you can see my slide. I need confirmations for that, please. Okay. Basically, I titled this one, the concept of Microsoft Power Platform and low-code development. Our agenda for today basically will be a general introduction, some of the benefits, the circle around Power Platform, the Power Platform in details, and a question and answer sessions. So these are basically what we'll be looking at. Then a quick introduction is the low code. Low code are software approach where developers build applications using graphical interface. We know that the conventional method of developing applications or solutions is by you writing a series of code in a specific language. But the low code is where you don't actually have to write those code, but rather you use graphical interfaces to build your application, more or less like a pre-built solutions where you just try to make them or customize them to your preferred solution. Now, other than the Power Platform, I want to make it clear here that there are other low-code applications tools outside there. Other than the Power Platform, you could have other tools for low-code development. But specifically for this course, we'll be considering the Microsoft Power Platform low-code development. So you take note of that. The next slide here says problems with developing business applications. You and I knows that the conventional method or the traditional method of coding requires us having a bit of understanding and a lot of strenuous exercises in building those applications, of which to both the client and to the programmer there are some constraints. But low code comes here to see how we can profound solutions to some of these applications, which includes some of these problems, which include budget constraints, because in most cases, budget could be a really big problem in you building your application. We have the time and resource constraints. We have raising customer expectations, because in some cases, after building the application, you notice it's not meeting the customer's need, and it has to undergo a series of rapid change again. All these and paper processes, new digital models, because if you build your app 5 years ago, you have to update them on a regular basis. IT and business partnership, that is whereby you have different connectors from different APIs working together to make sure that your app stays up to date. Then limited aggregate and technological skills, storage, security and compliance risk. All these are some problems we face with developing business applications. Now, the benefit of Power Platform over the traditional development. Now, I don't have to emphasize too much, because we can see from the screen here that there is a rapid different changes here, because in the low-code development platform, there is a high rate of success compared to, in most cases, when projects are started using the traditional method, it may run out of resource and it could cause failure. But with the idea of low-code Power Platform, it could allow you develop applications within a short period of time, and there is also a high rate of success. Now, in the time constraint of delivery now, we notice that we have fast, in terms of delivery, there is a faster time of delivery in terms of the low-code development than the traditional method. Likewise, it is easier for both people who are into the business and also those that are into the IT profession to use the low code, while in the traditional method they always need an intermediary who is an IT consultant to always put them through because of their because they don't have the idea of how this works. Now, finally, we have the breed innovation and the crib innovation, where you could see new trends coming in. As I'm even talking to you, I'm very sure you all have heard of something that have been trending on the social media, which is called the Chat GPT. Now, as I'm talking to you, within the Power Platform, you can incorporate Chat GPT into your chatbot, into your application to make them amazing and awesome. Now, looking at all of that, if you use the traditional method, it will take years to do that or incorporate that. But with the idea of the Power Platform, you can do that as quick as possible. Please, hope you all can still hear me because I'm on my presentation slide. I would not want in case that if you can just make sure you keep in touch. Just let me know, please. Thank you. As I continue, likewise, you could also see that we could also proceed by saying that in most cases now, I'm trying to get back to my screen. Okay. Yeah. Sorry, can you see my screen? Okay. I'm currently on the slide for Power Platform, where the title is Power Platform. Now I'm trying to explain some ideas. Power Platform combines a robust power of 5 major applications presently, which includes the Power Apps, the Power BI, which we introduced ourselves to yesterday, the Power Automate, the Power Virtual Agent, and of course the Power Pages. Now, it all combines them into one singular powerful business application platform that can help you build rapid application and also give you data insights within a short period of time. Now, in addition to all of that, it also gives you other numerous underlaid technologies, which include this CDS, which stands for Common Data Services Database, and also an AI builder. An AI builder could be you being in another field that has to do with AI and technology, and then you can bring in some of your solutions. Now, who can use the Power Platform? The Power Platform is meant for anyone or everyone, whether you being a pro developer or an IT professional or just a citizen developer. When I mean a citizen developer, I mean somebody with or without technical knowledge of how some of this programming works. But you coming into the Power Platform, it gives you access to learn how to do some of these stuffs. Basically, for the citizen developers, it reduces and it helps to reduce development and deployment time, because for a citizen developer that tries to work with a pro developer, it helps both the pro developer and the citizen developer to build the application within the shortest period of time, and also make it online by deploying it within the short period of time. And also, because of that, you have high productivity. Then for an IT professional or a pro developer now, it helps them to work with pro developers. That is, pro developers to pro developers are made easy, and it also helps to make business solutions be accessible in real time. Take for instance, as we are building our applications, just imagine your users can have access to it, test it, give their feedback, and also make changes without having to finish it before pushing it out to your clients, all of that. Now, that is a cool feature that Power Platform offers us. Now, we should say why the Power Platform. Basically, it helps us reduce cost, resource, time. Our data are being stored in a secured server, and then maintenance is easy to be done. These are some things we consider, or we should consider why we consider Power Platform. Now, I'll be explaining some basic things within the Power Platform, which I've mentioned that we have 5 major ones. But firstly, here is a diagram explanation of how the Power Platform works, whereby you can have an application. You can have an application here that when it is acted upon, then it can generate some series of data which can be sent to a Power BI dashboard for data view, and then you can automate processes within your application such that at any point in time you don't have to do some things repeatedly. Now, a good example is you trying to work in an organization where you have to do with processes that has to do with paper involvement. You can automate such kind of processes. Now, the common data sources, I've mentioned them before. They are just like databases where we store our data. Then we have data connectors, which also involves APIs. Now, all this together with the AI builder of Microsoft, which has the capability to use AI models now for business optimized processes. All this comes together as a circle that helps you build absolute solutions in Power Platform. Also, the Power Apps. The Power Apps is just a suite of application service, common connectors, as well as a Power Platform as the data platform that helps you build rapid applications in an environment using custom applications for business needs in any case scenario. Now, this is how the Power Platform looks, but we'll be doing more of that after this session, or we'll be going through all this practically. Then we have the Power Automate. The Power Automate is a tool that allows you establish automatic workflow between your favorite applications, services, and others, and in other synchronized files, notification, collections of data, and do other things. Basically, as you can hear me, Power Automate is just to automate things whereby you have to do them repeatedly, or you have to do them concurrently, or in cases you have to keep your data up to date with the latest record and all of that. You can use Power Automate to do that within a short period of time. That is where Power Automate comes into the play. Then Power BI. Power BI is specifically for is a software. Power BI is a collection of software services, application connectors that works together to transform disputed data sources. That is, yesterday I was saying that it gives us access to various or numerous data sources. Now it helps us to bring them together and gives us, and we can make them interactive, and also help us to get insights from this data. Your data could be in different forms. It could be in Excel. It could be collected on the cloud, either premise or premise. When I mean premise, that means you have your own server in your organization or in any organization, and you are asked to work on it. Or virtually on the cloud and you have to connect to it. Power BI gives you access to do all of that, to connect to them and make sure you have the right data. Now, the Power Virtual Agent basically stands for, I also call it the test bot, because this is where you can create virtual bots that often are located within some sites now, whereby you go into the sites, you can just ask the bot one or two questions and it helps you to solve it. Now, within our business or within any case scenario, you notice that you can also build absolute bots to solve specific problems or to solve specific challenges. Now, it's just it's powered by AI and it helps you to build interactive chatbots that can make changes or can help solve business needs. And finally, which is the newest to the Power Platform package, we have the Power Pages. Power Pages was built on the idea that since we still have websites and we have a good number of them, we still have to code them. Power Platform thought it wise that it is also necessary that we should be able to build absolute websites that can connect to our Power Apps, Power BI, Power Virtual Agents, and even the Power Automates with an absolute drag and drop solutions, processes rather, instead of actually building these sites from scratch. So Power Platform comes as a way whereby you can host your service online and make sure that all your websites are located online and still have access to all the premium connectors that are located within the Power Platform. Now, you may ask, what is your opportunity to work in an industry or in an organization that uses Power Platform? I've been able to figure out some key industries and the major key industries where Power Platform are being utilized as at 2022 to 2023 as we speak. In the retail and consumers goods, we have Coca-Cola, which is one of the best there, Coca-Cola, Pepsi, all these companies, they also use Power Platform. That is where, that's a good place where you can start your career or work with, trying to see where you can work. We have the discrete manufacturer, Rolls-Royce, Honeywell, and so many others. We have the government agencies such as which you can see as Visa and the likes. We have the health, in the healthcare. We also have in the banking and finance sectors. We have the professional services. We have the technology system and services such as HP, Adobe, and T-Systems. All these are places you can work. These are just a few of them. There are more to this. So in general, you learning the Power Platform, it gives you access to work within these companies or within these organizations. In summary, because I'm trying to put an end to this, in summary, we have the Power Platform and low-code concepts are founded basically on the idea that the Power Platform and low-code concepts are founded on an inclusion and productivity for users regardless of which field they find themselves or which field they want to go into. Basically, in any case scenario that you find yourself, you will discover that it is crucial for you to make sure you make a productivity, keep your productivity high, and also make sure that you make an impact. So some of these resources that I used for this slide are located here. I'll be sharing you with the slide as soon as this class is off. And sorry for my apologies. Yesterday class will also be made available today. It was due to some circumstances. Thank you very much. And also, if there is question, I want to take question from this slide before we move to the practical session. Okay, I think what he is trying to say is that possibly you have some responses that have been collected via the Google form, and you want to send out mails to those to the responders to that form, and you are saying that can we use Power Automate to do something like that? Is that the question, Mr. Gabriel? If I got you right. Okay, if yes. Okay, now if that is what you want to do, what you have to do is that you can collect the form as an Excel format. That is their responses as an Excel format. Once you do that, and you can now create a flow from an Excel within Power Automate to do that by sending out an email to them to the corresponding email addresses or to the corresponding columns which you of the responders. I don't know if you get my point, which is my Office 365 Microsoft account, where in the first class here we discussed how you can create your own Microsoft Office 365 account with the E5 license. Today we'll be exploring some of the features here. Please mind you, if you have questions, just drop it on the chat session. Then at the end we can discuss that. Okay. Basically, in the Microsoft 365 account, you have so many packages, but we'll be starting off with the Microsoft Power apps. Now, for the Power apps, for you to go into it, you have to go to make.powerapps.com on your browser when you are logged into your Office 365 account. Now, it's going to bring out the environment. That is the environment where you can build your Microsoft Power apps now. Also, basically, now, when you get to the environment, on the first section of the environment, what you will see is that you can have the home section at the top ribbon here, where you can either create your app from a blank, from Dataverse, from SharePoint, from an Excel, an SQL, from an image, or from Figma, as the case may be. Now, this is just ways, because we are here to discuss Power Platform as a low-code platform where you can build apps. Just imagine you drawing out what you want, what you want your app to look like, and importing it into the image section here. You can create your very first application. Now, second option here, which is the Learn. Microsoft has a robust learning platform, which is also called the Microsoft Learn. But here you have to learn. The Learn here is specifically about Microsoft Power Apps. Now, what you are going to be learning is you could take your time to go through majority of the courses here on how to solve. There are also good videos for you to watch, and the resources are all available for you to use. Now, the next option is the apps. Now, for the apps here, this is where you locate all your apps that you have created, or in case you want to create a Canvas app, this is where you come to. Now, once you when you click on apps, you can find the option for a new app. Then possibly, if I built an app and I shared it with you as maybe I imported it as a solution or as just a Canvas solution now, you can import an app here, and then all the apps are located within your session, within the app session here. Then you have the create. The create also is more or less like the home, where you can see where you can create your apps from. And I told you you have the Dataverse where you can create, where you store your data, and you can create tables, you can do workflows, and you can create some connectors. You can even build in, you can take the step further by building your own custom connections. Now, all these are basic places you can explore. Then you have the flow. The flow here is the flow here allows you as a user to see some of the flows that you can build. Then you have the solutions where you can find solutions you have built in recent times or solutions that are pre-built with Microsoft Power Platform. And beyond this left-hand side, at the top side here, you can see where it says environment. Now, you can create multiple environments for multiple case scenario. You could have the production environment, you could have the development environment, and you will have some other forms of environment. So you can, anytime you want to switch within your environment, this is where you can switch within your environment. Okay, and some of the flows, some of the solutions I have is what just loads up in the background here. I told you we're not going to be doing any technical stuff, but I'm going to be walking you through the environment before we proceed to building solutions with our Power Apps or thereabout. Now, after that, the next one I want to do a quick overview about is the Power Automate. When you go to if you navigate back to your home and you click search on Power Automate, it will take you to the web address make.powerautomate.com. That is, if you want to go into it directly, you could just go into your make.powerautomate directly, where you can start building, automating some of your processes. Also, it has some series of things here, which includes the home, the approver, my flows. That the home generally is using some most frequently used flows that have been pre-built as templates within Power Automate, and also you have some learning resource below. Then for the approvers, in cases where you build solutions that has to do with approvers, that has to do with some items that requires approval, you can see them from here. Then my flow is where you see all the list of the flows you have ever created, or you want to make modification at any point in time. And within my flow, you have the cloud flow and what we call the desktop flow. I'll be going into that very soon. But for now, majorly this account, I use it for my cloud flow. You can see these are the list of cloud flows I have. So anytime you want to create a new flow, you can also create a new flow by clicking on new flow at the top here. Then finally, we have the create. Now, the create here we have, I'm going to be discussing just the first three, which is the automated cloud flow, the instant cloud flow, and the scheduled cloud flow. Now, the automated cloud flow has to do with cases where you want processes to be done automatically without the intervention of or when a trigger is set. Now, in this case, you just have to make sure that you run it automatically on the cloud. Then for the cloud flow, often I love to call it the button flow, because in this case, it's more or less you are still automating it, but you have to click on a button to trigger the action. Now, that's how that works. We'll look at all this in details with examples in further classes. Then the scheduled cloud flow works in cases. Yes, sorry, please Okay, we have the scheduled cloud flow. The scheduled cloud flow is cases where you have to do things at an interval of time or at a series of time. Take for instance, you have to send out a congratulatory message or a birthday message rather to your employees within their specific date of birthdays or their anniversary work date. Now, such kind of things occur maybe once in a year. So, and in such kind of cases, you would want to use the scheduled cloud flow. Basically, those are the three I'll be explaining for this class. Then you have the templates. Now, Power Automate gives you access to templates. That is, you can reuse most of these templates. You can reuse most of these templates and also try to see cases where any case scenario here fits what you want to do. That means you don't have to start all from scratch to build your flow. You can use any of this flow, any of these template flows here. Then you have the connectors. The connectors is the list of different connectors from different organizations or within Power Platform that you can connect to, and also use their custom connections within your flow. Then within the data session, these are the list of connectors. We have a very large number of them here. Then we have the data. You could also automate things by connecting to a data table, other connections, gateway, and the likes. And finally, you could also have your custom solutions. Quickly, I will not waste our time because I'm far way behind now. Okay, I will be looking at Power BI. Now, in the Power BI, yesterday I've been able to do an introduction to the Power BI desktop class. Now, this one you're seeing here is the Power BI online service. Most cases, some people call it the Power BI cloud service. So now the cloud service for Power BI, I have somebody that was asking today that it doesn't work for MacBook. I think most cases you would want to use the cloud version of the Power BI. It still gives you access to do some of the things we introduced ourselves to yesterday. Now, also we have the home section here where you can find some of my workflows, some of the reports I've built, some of my dashboard and the data set I've used. That's what is located in the home. Then you could create, possibly you could start off by either pasting in your data from an Excel, or you are picking from a published data. Then you could have the browse where you can browse through some of your data that are located within the Power BI. Then you have the data hub. Okay, the data hub is where these are data that are located within maybe your custom applications or the ones you built within the Power Platform package. Then finally, I want to the workstation. Now, within my workstation, I can have various various sources. Okay, just leave please. Thank you. Okay, now in this place, this is what you get is my workflow, and within my workflow you can see the hierarchical data sources you have connected to, and some of the dashboards you have built within time. Okay, I think I'll stop presenting here and let's try to address some issues. Okay, to those who are remaining, I think I don't know Mr. Walex. I am really sorry, Mr. Gabriel.